and God bless America.
Forward, march. On time, march. Backward, hold. Order, arms. Right, face. Stand by. Ready. Ready, and forward. Ready, and forward. Ready, and forward. Ready, freeze, and oh.
And the crowd goes silent, as it should.
Stand beside her and guide her through the night with the light from above, from the mountains to the prairies to the oceans wide with God bless America, my home, sweet home. God bless America, my home, sweet home.
God Bless America, performed by American Idol champion singer-songwriter Philip Phillips, ladies and gentlemen.
One weekend, two.
Is and always will be the greatest spectacle in racing.
Every year on the doorstep of summer, the nation pauses to recognize the men and women of the armed forces who gave their lives to preserve our freedoms. In town squares and military cemeteries, we bow our heads in silent homage to those lost. We find a deeper appreciation for the ultimate sacrifice. On that same weekend, America throws parties, none bigger than here at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, a celebration of speed and bravery like no other in sports.
Newgarden with a monster run off turn 2.
But here is the important part. Without the sacrifice, there is no party. Without the sacrifice, there is no America. Indy has always understood that, and has always stood in solidarity and gratitude with our military. More than a century ago, the first Indy 500 took place on what was then called Decoration Day. That bond has never been broken. The race paused for World War I. The track was used for aviation support. It paused 4 years for World War II. The Speedway area became a production center for aircraft engines. But most of all, on a weekend of revelry and remembrance, the Indy 500 is a vital piece of connective tissue, an assembly of Americans that pointedly never forgets what Memorial Day means most. That we are here for the roar, that we are here for the speed, and that we are here because of them.
To our America, award-winning recording artist Jordan Sparks performs our national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we held at the twilight's last gleam, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free?
Thank you to the United States Air Force
Never
Thunderbirds
seen
for today's
in American sports quite like it. Delayed by 4 hours, about 4 hours of daylight left. Let's do this.
4-hour rain delay. I think that's a first.
Continue on NBC.
The track picks the winner here, but you never ever know what the track might be thinking until you see it play out in front of your eyes. See, the Brickyard, it isn't interested in what you're expecting. It doesn't care who the favorite is or who's won it before. No, the track only rewards the driver who proves on this day they're the most worthy. But if that sounds mysterious or just hard to figure, it's really not. If you're in the cockpit, you can try to have a say in the matter. All you need is the same thing they all had. The fearlessness and fortitude, instinct and drive, hunger and heart, and maybe the little bit of luck it takes to outdrive everyone else on this track. It's not easy, but that's the point. You can't expect to become a legend without pulling off the improbable. You can't figure on making history without living up to history. You can't convince this track you're worthy without doing something truly spectacular. If that sounds like pressure, that's because it is. Drivers, start your engines. Try to convince the Brickyard that you're worthy. Race to win the Indy 500.
Inspirational and appropriate words from entertainment icon and Indy 500 winning team co-owner David Letterman as we welcome you to NBC Sports presentation of the 108th Indianapolis 500. This telecast presented by Firestone. And it's almost like a magic wand has been waved over the speedway. Can you believe that we are now bathed in sunshine after this some 4-hour delay and torrential rain and thunderstorms earlier today. We now have the perfect situation this afternoon. And marquee events only happen once a year because that's all they need to happen once a year. It's because of the size and the grandeur, and there's nothing more colossal than the Indianapolis 500. Hi, folks.
Out there, your crew is ready, but you have to put everything else in your non-racing life aside, lock in, because 500 miles in front of you is the most significant win of your life. It's time to go get it.
And James, it is the most difficult and delicate dance you have to do at 230 plus miles an hour.
Well, that's just it. The most significant win of your career's on the cards, but it's also got the most significant speeds and the most significant danger. We've seen all through practice issues, whether you're a rookie like Linus Lundqvist or an 8,500 champion like Marcus Ericsson here. Big crash back on Thursday. We go into qualifying, even more incidents for drivers. Rinus VeeKay, one of the best in qualifying here. This is what happened to him on the first day. This track is fast, it is treacherous, and that is part of the reason it's such a challenge for these drivers.
It feels good to say that we are getting close to a race start and to see the cars on track. Let's get down there amongst it. We kick it off with Marty Snyder.
Well, Lee, the biggest unknown for Kyle Larson already checked off today. He will indeed race the Indianapolis 500. Now come the on-track unknowns. He told me his number one concern starts and restarts. As he said, there's just no way I can simulate that anywhere until I do it myself. I have a lot to learn throughout the 500 miles today, Kevin Lee.
Marty, when Scott McLaughlin won the pole last week, and he told you that he'd been getting some secret help. Now we know it's Simon Pagenaud, who has been down here on the grid today. The 2019 winner has been trying to help him in the process. Just simply expedite and use the experience that he has. McLaughlin has a great chance today. To Dylan Welch.
Kevin, we expect Scott Dixon at the front of each Indy 500 field, but he's still chasing his second win in this race. At age 43, he's as focused as ever. Said, I'm still doing this because I love winning. That's what drives me every single race. But he qualified 21st. That's the worst of his career in Indy. He's hardly concerned. They know the task at hand. Pass cars and get to the front. Nobody does that like the 9 team, Dave Burns.
Foyt and Al Unser Sr. In 2021, what a win. The first win for Meyershank Racing in his first start for them. Now, Elio is 49 years old, the oldest in the field, and I asked him if he wins today, will he stop and go out on a high note? His reply, why not extend the high note? A fifth Indy 500 would not be the end for Castro Neves, but Lee, it would be historic.
Oh my goodness, that would be something else. You know, racers, fans, families have been coming here for more than a century. It's about respecting the ritual, appreciating the tradition, and now an integral part of that tradition that gives you goosebumps every time.
Back home again in Indiana, and it seems that I can see the gleaming candlelight still shining bright through the sycamores for me. The newborn hay sends all its fragrance from the fields I used to roam. When I dream about the moonlight, the Wabash, then I long for my Indiana.
It doesn't get any better than that. Jim Cornelison, thank you very much. To get this crowd of more than 300,000 people fired up for the 108th running of the Indianapolis 500. We've had to wait a little bit longer for it this year, but the wait is most certainly going to be worth it.
For the most famous words in motorsports, please welcome the chairman of the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, Roger Penske. What a great day today, and thank you for staying here for this delay. But race fans all over the world, you're going to see the most iconic race, the finest race in racing here today at the 108th running of the Indianapolis 500. But more important, this day is for the men and the women and the first responders who keep our country safe and secure. Let's give them a big hand. Now on to the greatest race. Drivers, start your engines.
There he is, the captain, Roger Penske, and when the captain says it's time to go, you go, and we will when we come back. This is Indy. Motor Speedway is now bathed in sunshine after a 4-hour delay due to inclement weather, but now the cars roll, and what a sight that is. And this Indianapolis 500 is presented by Gainbridge. We bring you the Firestone starting grid. You'll pick your favorite drivers. You heard them and you saw the crowd reaction in the driver introductions. But what an afternoon we have for you here. This is going to be spectacular. The wait has been worth it.
It certainly has. It doesn't look like a soul has left this place. They are back in force and ready to see 11 rows of 3 absolutely send it. And a lot of us will be watching the rookie, Kyle Larson. Let's see if we can get him on the radio. Hey Kyle, it's Townsend Bell with NBC. You copy?
Yeah, I got that.
Hey there, a year ago you came here, Kyle, to watch, study, and ultimately dream. What does the dream look like now from where you're sitting?
Definitely excited. That's really cool to get this opportunity. So, you know, first off, thank you to Rick and everybody for Hendrick Motorsport, Aaron McLaren, everybody involved. It's pretty cool. You look around the crowd, look at the infield. Everybody's ready to get your race.
Well, we wish you the best of luck. You sure have been impressive. Have a great one. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate it.
And terrific for Kyle to note that it's nice to look at the crowd and just see how many people are here to watch him and 32 others race. Let's take you to the Honda track preview. Hinch, take us for a little ride. Tell us the important facts and figures.
Oh, guys, this is one of the greatest racetracks on the earth. 2.5 miles around. You see the 4 distinct corners, but they all drive a little bit differently. 9.2 degrees of banking in those corners. The straightaways 5/8 of a mile long. Long enough to have some great passes. You see the short chutes on the north and south end of the racetrack.
And there you see the stats. 200 laps to do those 500 miles. Pit road speed will be 60 miles an hour. It was a record pole speed at 234.2 miles an hour.
Before we get going, let's get an update from Kevin Lee. Kevin, what's happening at the Arrow McLaren camp?
There's a problem from Callum Ilott. He radioed in after he left the grid and said, I cannot shift. So they brought him in, and they're going to try a different steering wheel to see if that sorts the electronics problem.
Oh no, this is Kyle Larson's teammate, Pato O'Ward and Alexander Rossi's teammate.
There is something about rain delays that can wreak havoc on electronics. Even though these cars have been inside the garages of Gasoline Alley, there's delays, sometimes battery voltage is an issue. This is not the first time we've seen problems after a long break for the cars.
But just think about how heartbreaking this is, guys. We've just talked about how important this race is, how much time and energy and effort goes into starting it. For your car to not even be able to get to the start while being able to shift, this is a heartbreak for Callum Ilott.
Tamati Snyder.
Last year, Rinus VK's race ended pretty much here on pit road. He told me after the incident on pit road, he was mad at himself. But what it taught him, Dylan Welch, is patience. He said, that's my word of the day, patience. I think we have a car that can win, but I have to take my time.
Takuma Sato is back with one of the teams he won one of his 2 Indianapolis 500s with. Ray Hall, Letterman, Lanigan Racing asked his strategist Ricardo Knoll, what did he bring back to the team? Rico said the biggest thing he brought back was himself. He knows how to drive a car here as good as anybody, and Dave Burns, he is not afraid.
Linus Lundqvist, the 25-year-old from Stockholm, is making his first Indy 500 start. He's been in the
Series now for almost a year, but he's a rookie here. He starts 27th. He'll have a long way to go. We'll see what this rookie can do with a team that has won here before. Remember, Marcus Ericsson took the 8 to victory lane 2 years ago.
All right, now this is where it gets real, guys. Tug on those shoulder belts. Maybe a sip of water. Check your controls. Weight jacker where you want it. Roll bars where you want it. Hitch 3 wide, 11 deep.
It's the only track we do the 3 wide start. You see the gap where Calamilot should be, but look at that beautiful formation.
More than a third of the field are American. There are 14 nationalities in total represented. The teams and drivers have done their preparation, but that's not enough. They now have to execute, but that's not enough. They must make split-second decisions with no do-overs and get it right. This is, and always has been, and will be, the greatest spectacle in racing. This is the Indianapolis 500.
And they're off.
Scott McLaughlin in the yellow submarine leads the field of green. Will Powers on the outside.
Look back though at Santino Ferrucci. And Stars and Stripes goes right to P4. Ferrucci's on the hunt with the 3 Penske's leading.
Further back, I think the blue and orange car is Scott Dixon. Crash in the back.
That's Marcus Ericsson. Around goes Pietro Fittipaldi.
And I believe is that Catherine
Tom
66?
Blomqvist, the Meyer-shaped racing rookie. There's Ericsson, car destroyed, banging the steering wheel. His Indy 500 probably over.
The guy who almost won back-to-back in 22 and 23 is out of the race, and so too is the rookie Tom Blomqvist.
Ericsson, of course, starting right near the back on that final row, and Townsend back there. There is so much dirty air. This is a completely green racetrack, and by that I mean there's no rubber on it from all the rain we've had, and just look at the frustration from Ericsson.
You'd have to say 28 cars in front of you taking all of the clean air. On board here with Marcus Ericsson. What happened? Blomqvist lost it down low.
You saw Pietro Fittipaldi going down the inside, getting passed on his outside by Ericsson, and just absolutely nowhere to go for the number 28.
The view from Pietro Fittipaldi.
Coming outside, you're clear.
And that's just a row contact
Nice job, Pietro. Nice job.
with the McLaren, I believe, of Calamilot. Oh, that's a big stop backwards.
Here we are with Calamilot. Oh, brilliant. Oh,
Clear.
great job avoiding, and I think he's going to luck out there with the hip check, shoulder-to-shoulder contact. And guys, the irony is that this is exactly the same mistake that took Marcus Ericsson out on qualifying practice. Tom Blomqvist in the 66 get his left front tire on the rumble strip. It unweighted the car, it sent him backwards, and it takes out Marcus Ericsson.
Yeah,
That's Blomqvist up on the left.
You just
There it is.
You get onto that gray concrete patch, just a first-time Indy 500 competitor, first corner of the first lap. One of the classic mistakes, rookie error. There's really no other way to put it, Townsend.
Yeah, he got well down on that rumble strip. He was almost on the grass with his left front, and this is what I'm talking about. Practice in qualifying, race trim for Marcus Ericsson. You see the left front there on that light gray rumble strip, and that thing is simply ruthless. James, you and I have been on that a couple of times. We never wanted to be on it again. It's that wicked in terms of how it frees up the race car.
You see the end result there for Ericsson back on Thursday in practice, and not much better, unfortunately, here in the race. He came in here with such high hopes, guys, even after all the drama that he'd been through with this team and this car, the qualifying drama in the last chance qualifier. He was really confident in that race car, and that's a gut punch to not even have the chance to see what you could have done.
So they'll have to wait to get a flying lap. Let's take an exclusive first look at the Bike Riders' new trailer in theaters nationwide on Friday, June 21st, starring Austin Butler, Jodie Comer, and Tom Hardy.
Well, now that there's a delay because of the two-car accident and they're cleaning up the track, So this will end part 1 on Indy, the 108th running. And hopefully I'll bring you all back as the race moves on.